Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, my name's Alicia and today we are going to be making delicious and easy taco bowls. I'm so excited for this. It's perfect in time for summer and let's get right on into whipping this up. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do that I think is pretty standard in like 99% of the recipes that are out there is we're going to dice up one yellow onion, and we would also be dicing up some garlic right now, but I'm all out, so I'm going to be using the pre-minced stuff. I would say about 2 to 3 cloves or so, whatever you prefer. Okay, now I don't know how to cut an onion properly like the pros with, your dices and your cuts and whatever. I just do whatever works for me so that I don't cry and I can feel the sting coming on, so I'm about to get back to it, but please just be very, very careful with your fingers and with your eyes if you're gonna start crying. Okay, so I diced up all of that onion and miraculously I did not cry too much. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some avocado oil to a skillet. Now you want to make sure that you're using avocado oil when you are cooking, especially at high heat. That's because avocado oil has one of the highest smoke points of all the cooking oils, and that is just going to ensure that it is safe for you to use at those high heats. Whenever you're using an oil above its smoke point, it actually may be turning carcinogenic. And I will never forget when my university prof told me that, because I was kind of scared crapless a little bit. So it's really, really important that you're also looking at the oils that you use to cook the foods. So it's not just getting the leanest cut of meat or eating all the fruits and veggies. You want to make sure that you're using clean ingredients for the entire cooking process. And for me, that's avocado oil. So we're gonna add about a tablespoon or 2 of avocado oil to the skillet, and then we're gonna start adding our onions. And then we're also gonna add in our garlic, and like I said, I'm using the pre-minced stuff because I don't have any fresh. So I'm gonna put about a tablespoon and a half because I really like garlic, and according to the back, half a teaspoon is about 1 clove. So a teaspoon and a half would be about 3 cloves of garlic. Okay, time to saute all of that up over medium heat just until the onions and garlic get fragrant. You don't want to burn them. And then we will start adding our other ingredients to the skillet. Okay, so while the onions and the garlic are sauteing and softening up in the skillet and smelling absolutely divine, I am going to start washing and chopping up these mushrooms. Now, me and my mom have no issue eating veggies and fruits all day, every day. Absolutely love it. But my dad and my brother, it's a little trickier for them to eat veggies. So I like to add them in wherever possible. And mushrooms are good for so many things. They're good for your immune system. Specifically, they're a great source of vitamin D. So yeah, I like to add these guys in whenever I can. So my onions and garlic are pretty much as done as I would like them to be. They're pretty translucent and pretty softened, and they smell fantastic, and no burning just yet, which is perfect. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to go ahead and add our chicken into here. So I am using lean ground chicken. You can use lean ground beef or turkey, whichever you prefer. I really like chicken, and my family's really cool with chicken, so we put chicken in here. So I'm just gonna mix all of that up, and then once I kind of get a little bit of color and I get it kind of evenly mixed in, that's when I like to add my seasoning. So I'm gonna wait for this to mix up a little bit better, and then I'm gonna show you guys how I season everything. Okay, so everything is mixed up pretty well, and I also want to mention that this is a great time to put your rice in the rice cooker or start to make your rice on the stove. I find it easiest to just put it on the rice cooker, so that's what I do. And this is still over medium heat. So now we are going to spice it up. First thing I'm going to do is add some paprika. I hate this container because the paprika keeps sticking in the little holes there, which is annoying. So let's play it safe. Okay. And then I know we added a ton of garlic, but we are also going to add some garlic powder. Then we're going to add a little bit of cumin. We're going to do a wee bit of chili powder. If you guys are really not tolerant to spice, you don't have to add that. I'm also gonna add some lemon pepper. Now this is a secret ingredient that my family uses for pretty much every dish. And you know, every time we have some people over, they're like, oh my gosh, what's that flavor? And it's lemon pepper. So we don't really use black pepper, we use lemon pepper, and I'm telling you, it just kicks the flavor up to another level. And then I also added a little bit of salt in there. Now you could very easily go ahead and use an actual like taco mix at the store. I don't know, I personally just enjoy making my own, and I know this isn't like real authentic taco seasoning or anything, but this is how me and my family like it, so feel free to switch it up as you need to, or you know, flavor it as you need to, because at the end of the day, your mouth is the one eating it, not mine, so spice it up as you like. Guys, this is smelling so good. You seriously need to try this out. And everything, all my seasonings are pretty much mixed in. Now I personally don't like some of those like stringy looking pieces, so I try and just kind of like chop it up as it's cooking, because you also don't want any big clumps that can happen when you're using ground meat. So, oopsies. I really just try and break it up as best as I can. And yeah, so it's really starting to cook down. And this is actually the perfect point that you want to start adding your other ingredients. So I'm going to add those mushrooms that I chopped up, and I didn't use all of them. I used maybe about half of this size container. And these are gonna cook down to nothing anyways, because mushrooms lose all their moisture when you cook them down. So that's perfect, because I don't want no raw mushrooms in my taco meat anyways. So I'm just gonna try and mix this in without making too much of a mess. Okay, it hasn't even been 2 whole minutes and these mushrooms have shrunk in size so much already. Now guys, you don't have to add the mushrooms in. If you are like my boyfriend who hates mushrooms, feel free to omit these. You can add in some bell peppers, you can add in whatever you like, whatever veggie of your choosing. But let's add a couple more things to just kick up that flavor even more. So I have 1 can that I rinsed and drained of turtle black beans. So I'm gonna sprinkle that in there. And then I also have 1 can of corn, again, that I rinsed and drained. Put that in there. And you want to make sure that you're rinsing and draining off your canned veggies because one, they usually add a lot of salt in there that we don't need. And two, sometimes the metals from the cans can actually leach into your food. So if you can avoid using canned foods, definitely do that. But you know, every once in a while, it's gonna be okay to use canned food because ain't nobody got time to, you know, always pre-soak your beans the night before. I don't even remember and I don't even think about it because half the time I don't plan my meals in advance, which can be really useful for a lot of people, but it's also not practical for a lot of people. So do what's easiest for you. Now I'm gonna try and mix all of this in very carefully. I wish I had a bigger skillet, but such is life. Everything is starting to cook down. Flavors are starting to blend together, and I'm telling you, it smells so good in this kitchen right now. Now, I knew I was forgetting something, and I wish I would have added this earlier, but better late than never. So you're gonna wanna add about a little bit more of tomato paste. This is gonna give it that really rich consistency that you're so used to seeing. Yeah, I really wish I added this earlier, but like I said, better late than never. I'm gonna gently mix that in. Okay, so this has cooked down quite nicely in size. The mushrooms have shrunk down considerably. Everything is all mixed together. I did manage to mix in that tomato paste without making too much of a mess in this not big enough skillet. And it does smell so good. But I think I'm gonna add a little bit more seasoning just because I like it really flavorful. And a lot of people find that they don't like healthy food because they think that it tastes bland, but you guys can use seasonings. Like spices are not bad for you. Spices actually, like certain foods, have great medicinal benefits to it, great health benefits to them. So I encourage the use of seasonings as much as possible. Now my family doesn't like cumin too much, so I'm not gonna add any more of that. Maybe just a little bit more paprika and a little bit more of that lemon pepper. I'm telling you guys, you gotta go get some lemon pepper. This is a game changer. We put it in our salad that we have pretty much every night, and it's just so good, so good. And some more garlic powder, why not? Now, I always say you can add more seasonings, but you can't take it away. So if you don't know how to gauge, you know, how much seasoning you and your family, or you and your significant other, whoever it is, how much seasoning you guys like, you can start very light and you can always build up how much you add into your dish. But once it's in there, it's in there. So start light and you can always layer and add in later on. Now I'm just gonna keep letting this go over a lower temperature. I've been cooking this on about medium high for the last little bit, just to really, you know, get that thicker consistency, get the chicken cooking, get some of that brown color in there. This is smelling so good. I wish you guys could smell it through the screen. So there we go. Now it's pretty even in there. Everything's mixed together quite well. And I'm gonna reduce this now to medium low and kind of just leave that, let that be. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it on low and I'm gonna add the lid to it just to keep all the juices and the flavors in there, and I will check back in with you guys once this is all done. Okay, so everything is done cooking and it's finally time to assemble. So I just have some long grain brown rice that, like I said, I just did in the slow cooker. I got some of that. Then I have some lettuce and spinach that I just chopped up, and I like to put a lot of this in my bowl just to bulk it up. Got some of that in there. And then I have my taco meat with my beans and my mushrooms and onions and corn. And I'm gonna put some of that right on top of there. This smells so good. Now you can top this with whatever you like. I'm gonna see if I have some vegan cheese left. I'm gonna throw that on top of there. And then I'm gonna add some fresh chives from the garden. And guys, this smells and tastes so good. So this is what we got. Top it as you like. You could add some salsa on there. You could add some sour cream if you eat dairy, or if you find a vegan sour cream, you can make your own dressing. Really put whatever you want on there. Some hot banana peppers would be good. Alright guys, so there you have it. My favorite way to make a quick and easy taco bowl at home. This is delicious. This is so easy to make. It's very nutritious. And I'm gonna stop talking about it and I'm gonna go eat it now.